Two of the biggest names in the streaming industry are actually going into a major beef right now, and those two people are Cenat and Adin Ross. If you don't know, these two have a very long-term history, back to back with each other. They used to be actually pretty good friends, if my memory suits me correctly. Well, apparently they are not friends anymore. Sorry, these glasses are very foggy. I need to clean them. I'm gonna get rid of them for now. I feel like I'm in unemployment territory of getting into these news, but anything for views. What can I say? I'm a little gremlin. I eat up any bit of drama I can. Also, excuse the mid part, getting a haircut soon. Anyways, let's get into the real drama of this whole situation. Today is July 18th. Yesterday, on July 17th, something boiled. Like, something happened, and their beef boiled over, and they ain't with each other anymore. They're talking about each other on their streams. Cenat's saying stuff, Adin Ross is saying stuff, and it's a whole bunch of hoot and law. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the very beginning of their whole relationship. Honestly, this whole thing started in 2021, 4 years ago. Adin Ross was the big dog of the streaming industry. He was doing things that people hadn't seen before, and Cenat was just becoming a bigger creator. He was averaging probably around 2,000 viewers around that time. Adin Ross was averaging his hundreds of thousands. And Cenat would constantly be like, yo, add me to the stream, add me. And eventually Adin Ross started doing his e-dates. Cenat would join onto those e-dates, and that's where some people say Cenat really got his, big break. Anyways, in 2021, after building the relationship, they become very good friends. Anytime Cenat would stream, Adin Ross would be in his chat, and vice versa. Anytime Adin Ross streamed, Kai would be in his chat. I mean, they were such good friends that they even did a stream on Adin Ross's channel where all of A&P came over to his house. And in 2022, their relationship, I think, personally kind of started to fade. Adin Ross got banned for the very first time, and Cenat grew more than ever. I think that was the year he hit, the official milestone of having the most subscribers on Twitch, which was 100,000. A lot of people actually think this beef is about Cenat was just wanting to be the top dog, and he took that chance right as he could when Adin got banned. Personally, I don't think that's it. I mean, it might be a thing, people are competitive, so that might be one of the reasons why they beefing. I don't know. Sorry, I'm looking over here. My whole information is on my screen right now. People are also pointing out that when Cenat started getting bigger, he started doing what Adin used to do. We get streamers, rappers, all this on his streams. Personally, I don't see where the problem is. Cenat's he's doing what works. He's following the formula. Can you hate him for it? No, absolutely not. And I don't agree with people taking things away from Cenat himself. Kai's put in a lot of work into the streaming industry. Am I a Cenat fan? Not really. I don't really care for all these bigger streamers, but would I support them? Yeah. I mean, they have put time and effort more than anybody can imagine into this, so I will always respect them for the craft. Anyways, 2022, Adin Ross gets unbanned, and Cenat, as you can see in this tweet right here, is like, yo, let's fucking go. He's hyped. He's showing so much support for Adin Ross. And they are both, big dogs, they're both top of the game still, and they're friends, so it's working amazingly. They're getting each other a bunch of stuff. Like right here it says, Adin bought Kai a watch, and then Kai bought Adin 2 watches, and Adin bought 2 watches in a car, and they kept one-upping each other. And this is where people think the drama started to happen. Their egos got the best of them. They always would one-up each other when they got a gift for each other, and they think that's what the little hints of it started. Now, staying into 2022, this was a very big year for Adin Ross. This was his controversial era. He got, Andrew Tate was a very big part of it. I don't know if I can show the clip. I don't want to get copyrighted. I do make a tiny bit of money off this YouTube stuff, and I would like to keep that little bit of money I make. But in the clip, it is a few streamers, Adin Ross, XQC, Cenat, and Andrew Tate, all in the same Discord call. And even though Cenat's like, I'm not dick riding, he was very much dick riding Andrew Tate. I'm pretty sure he talked down on Andrew Tate later on, but yeah, he's like, Andrew Tate, love your content, man. It's the best on the internet right now. This and that. Clearly dick riding. And people are arguing that Cenat was doing this to hop on the train that Adin Ross was hopping on, so they could stay head to head. Like, he didn't want Adin Ross just maybe getting a head up. He wanted to stay even and take his chance to shoot up, going back to the theory that everyone thinks that they are just having an egotistical battle. But, they're still cool. It is what it is. But 2023 rolls around, and Adin Ross gets banned again, but this time, we all thought it was permanent. And Cenat has publicly said 3 times that he wants to get Adin Ross unbanned. Nothing wrong with that. You want to support your homies. Like, the guys that you either looked up to or you're really close to in the streaming industry, if they get banned, yeah, you want to support them, especially if you think they got banned for a stupid reason or just banned entirely. You want to support them. I mean, it's their job. It makes sense that he wants to support him. Also, Cenat is one of the biggest streamers, the biggest streamer on Twitch, so he does have a lot of leverage. And I've seen a clip brought up where Cenat was even giving Adin Ross tips on how to get unbanned, which in that he says, delete your Twitter, your community and all that, and stop gambling. Mind you, both these things Cenat does. Cenat gambles on stream and has his own Twitter community. But whatever. Adin Ross is desperate. He wants to get his job back, so he does it. He deletes his community with over 100,000 members. That is bizarre to me, by the way. And Cenat said that he wanted to get rid of Adin Ross' community because it was a very toxic community, which, by the way, it is. Adin Ross has a very problematic community, so that does make entire sense why he would need to ban it and restart, kind of where he was at. But people are bringing up some weird coincidences. The community would bring up, a weird trend that was happening with Cenat and Adin Ross, that anytime Adin Ross would have a viral moment or a big moment, Cenat would do nearly the same and try and one-up it. Like, for instance, Adin Ross gets Donald Trump on his stream, and then the very next day, Cenat announced that Kamala Harris had invited him, which Kamala herself said did not happen. So you can kind of see how people are making these parallels. There's also a bunch of other little things where it just seems like Cenat the whole time is trying to just one-up Adin Ross, and Adin Ross trying to one-up Cenat. They're just having a massive ego fight. And there's times where, like, Adin Ross would have Drake on, for instance, and Cenat would, like, randomly call him and just start talking, and he wouldn't call him any other streams, which, honestly, yeah, that is a pretty weird coincidence. Anyways, March 25, the more recent times, Adin Ross is still unbanned. And he's sitting there talking to his chat about who helped him. Cenat is nowhere to be mentioned. He mentions the FaZe members, which, yeah, they did a lot. They really stuck up for Adin, so if you're an Adin Ross fan, you're gonna really fuck with FaZe. It makes sense. But there is a clip yet again. I don't want to show it. Scared I'm gonna get copyrighted. There's a clip where Adin Ross is speaking with Sneeko, and Sneeko's like, "Hey, there's a lot of people that stepped up for you," and Adin goes, "Yeah, man. I hit people up, and some people will respond, and they would step up without hesitation, and then some people would ignore me and not even respond." And you look at his chat, spamming Cenat, and then he looks at it, he says, "Not airing out one specific person, though." So pretty clear that he was talking about Cenat, which that's pretty fucked. Like, if you are, like, supposedly day ones and so close with this guy that you're buying him watches and hanging out with him a lot, and you were really close to him when he was popping off, now all of a sudden you're not, after you've gotten your clout, your money, your fame, and then you dip on him, that's fucking fake. That's some pussy shit. I don't care if I don't like Adin Ross or not. That's so pussy shit to switch up on one of your boys. But 15 days later, after that little clip, Cenat went on a stream, and he was like, "Yo, congratulations to that boy Adin Ross. I hit him up right as he got unbanned," in his little soundboard. "Congratulations to Adin Ross, man. Happy to see him get unbanned and all this and that." But here's the problem. Another streamer called Cuff'em, I don't know if you know of him. You would if you've seen his face, I guess. His whole thing is like, he'll go on Monkey and he's ugly and he'll take off his ski mask. People like, ew, and skip. It's stupid content. Anyways, Cuff'em is close with Adin Ross. Cuff'em said, he reacted to Cenat saying like, "Yo, I texted Adin right as he got out." And Cuff'em goes, "Yo, that's crazy. That's bullshit, because I remember when Hassan got banned," which, by the way, I talked about that. Go check the video out. It's going to be linked up here. He was like, "Yo, when Hassan got banned, he said that someone should die, and he only got banned for 1 day. Why am I still banned?" Cenat did not even reply. He looked at him like a piece of dog shit on the street, looked at it, looked back up, kept fucking walking. 6 months go by. Adin Ross is not banned anymore. And Cenat is doing his normal streams, and he's looking at his Twitter, and then a video shows up of Adin Ross talking about Cenat. And mind you, these 6 months, Kai Cenat has not uttered Adin Ross's name, has not hinted toward him at all for these entire 6 months, which is insane. When you're like, yo, W, my boy got unbanned, let's fucking go, big ups, big hypes, big W's in chat, you know, soundboard, damn, son, whatever he does. You know, I don't watch Kai Cenat streams, but I see they're always hectic, so I can't watch them. But then 6 months later, you have not mentioned his name once, and you see him on your Twitter. You're on live, and you see him on Twitter. I couldn't really hear the video when I saw it. I think Adin Ross said something about, you know, Kai Cenat not replying, and he just looks at it, scrolls, sees a sticker, goes, oh, W sticker, let's go, chat, W sticker. Like, dude, come on. Like, this is supposedly your day one homie that you were like a ride or die for, because you're supposed to be ride or die for your day one homie. This is your day one homie, and you can't even bother to even mention him. Like, if you were genuinely concerned about him, you would be messaging him in private, which we already found out you're not doing. You'd be messaging him in private and making sure he's okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not an Adin Ross fan. By no means, I'm not an Adin Ross or a Kai Cenat fan. I'm looking at it from a third-person view, like they're two normal dudes. I couldn't give a fuck how rich or famous they are. These are two normal dudes in my book. All I'm seeing is one dude, you know, kind of leached off another dude when he was doing really good. But they're equal now. They're all good. They're big dogs in the industry that they're in. This guy gets in trouble. He's like, yo, free my boy, free my boy. His boy comes back, and he's like, whoop, turn the other way. Completely forgot about him. Anyways, let's fast forward to July 16th. Sorry, I said 17th earlier. Let's fast forward to July 16th. Adin Ross was talking about the clip of Kai Cenat just going and ignoring him, and Adin Ross basically said, you know what? If he don't want to fuck with me, you know, online, then cool. I don't care. You know, there's plenty of people that fuck with me offline, but don't fuck with me online. Cool, I don't care. And he just kept saying he doesn't care. I don't know who really cares too much about this. I'm really only talking about it because I know I hope it will give you some talk about Adin Ross and Kai Cenat. That's the only reason why I'm really talking about it. I could not care less. They're two millionaires who don't know me, and I don't know them. I mean, I know of them, but I don't know them, if you know what I mean. And so why does it matter? Like, cool. Do I think Adin Ross is a problematic content creator? Yes, very, very much. I think he is one of the bigger problematic content creators. Do I think that means you should switch up on him? No. I do want to say I forgot to mention one very important thing. Sorry, this is not the good camera. I've already put it up and started importing the videos onto my camera. Adin Ross's manager had called Kai Cenat the N-word. That is not cool. That's a big no-no. Adin Ross did confront him about it. You know, Adin Ross said, yo, sorry, I'm holding my camera up. Adin Ross said, yo, why are we doing this? And he was like, oh, I don't know, man. It was like a year ago. I don't know if I did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not big of a deal. And Adin's like, nah, you're good. First off, Adin, I've been saying it all video. Kai is kind of dirty for not being there for you when he needed to, you know, publicly. I can't defend what you just did. You know, not that I'm trying to defend you specifically, but I was more leaning on your side. After seeing this, I can clearly see why he's not on your side anymore. Dude, you can't have your manager going around calling your close friends the N-word and taking your manager's side. That's not how it works. Like, that, no. Also, fuck him being your manager. He's a white guy calling a black dude the N-word. What the fuck? Anyways, that is the end of the video. Memberships are open on the channel. They're $1. And if you do, you know, you get linked a Discord. And in that Discord, you can send me videos or stuff to watch or talk about, and I'll react to, talk about them. It could be anything. And you get priority replies, shout outs, all this. You know, I thought it'd be something cool, heck, if I was a viewer to do. But if you're new to this channel, please check out my other content. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. It does help boost the video. But anyways, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you have an amazing day. God bless and goodbye.